10 absolute must-play games you need to play before you die. These are the games that every gamer needs to play at least once in their life. So let's look at the first game on our list, Firewatch.
So what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So what's wrong?
Alright, let's chat about Firewatch, a game that's more than just a title on your shelf, it's an experience you have to feel to truly appreciate. Firewatch isn't your typical first-person adventure, it's a deeply personal journey wrapped in a narrative so compelling, it's hard to shake it off long after you've put the controller down. Set in the stunningly rendered Wyoming wilderness, Firewatch places you in the boots of Henry, a fire lookout who is trying to escape his past by taking a job in the middle of nowhere. The game's hook is its beautifully sparse environment, designed to make you feel the isolation and tranquility of nature. But don't let the serene visuals fool you, there's a lot more bubbling beneath the surface. The real star of Firewatch is the dialogue between Henry and his supervisor, Delilah. Over the radio, their conversations range from light banter to deep, revealing moments. This dynamic dialogue drives the narrative, making it feel like you're living through an authentic relationship that evolves with each passing day. The writing is so sharp and emotionally honest that it's easy to forget you're interacting with a game and not a real person.
I know I can get a little pushy, putting you on the spot about why you're out here and stuff.
It's fine.
What makes Firewatch stand out as a masterpiece is its ability to craft a story that's both intimate and expansive. The game delves into themes of loneliness, regret, and personal growth with a subtlety that's refreshing. It's not just about solving a mystery or navigating a beautiful landscape, it's about understanding the characters and their struggles, and that's what makes it hit so hard. The art style deserves a shout out too. Its hand-painted look not only complements the story but also enhances the emotional depth. It's like walking through a living painting, where every brushstroke contributes to the atmosphere of solitude and introspection. Sure, Firewatch might not have the sprawling gameplay of some epic RPGs, but its narrative focus and emotional resonance make it an essential experience. It's a game that teaches us that sometimes the most profound journeys are those that happen within ourselves. If you haven't played Firewatch yet, you owe it to yourself to experience this uniquely moving story. It's a masterpiece that stands out in a crowded field, proving that sometimes less really is more. What remains of Edith Finch?
It makes sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna start at the beginning, with the house.
Next up, we've got What Remains of Edith Finch, a game that's like a hauntingly beautiful novel brought to life. This one's a real emotional roller coaster and a masterpiece that you simply can't miss. In What Remains of Edith Finch, you step into the shoes of Edith Finch, the last surviving member of the Finch family, who returns to her family's old home to uncover the mysteries behind their tragic deaths. The game isn't just about finding out what happened, it's about experiencing each family member's life through a series of unique, often surreal vignettes. The house itself is a character in this story, a sprawling, ramshackle structure with hidden rooms and secret passageways that reflect the Finch family's tragic and eccentric history. As Edith, you'll explore these rooms and relive the lives of your relatives, each story unfolding in a different gameplay style. One moment you're navigating a comic book, the next you're living out a first-person shooter sequence, or even controlling a character as they float through the sky. Each story is a masterclass in creative storytelling, turning simple interactions into poignant, emotional experiences.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
What really makes What Remains of Edith Finch shine is its ability to blend gameplay with narrative in a way that feels deeply personal. The stories are often short but packed with emotion, leaving you with a lingering sense of sadness and reflection. It's not just about the plot twist or the reveal, it's about the way the game makes you feel and think about the fragility of life and the impact of family legacies.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
The art and design of the game are also top-notch. The house, with its quirky rooms and cluttered aesthetics, perfectly captures the sense of history and mystery. Each story's unique visual style adds to the overall immersion, making every moment feel fresh and evocative.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
What Remains of Edith Finch is a game that doesn't just tell a story, it makes you live it. It's a testament to the power of narrative in games, showing that sometimes the most profound experiences come from the most intimate and personal stories. If you haven't played this gem yet, you're missing out on one of the most moving and artistically innovative games of recent years. It's a masterpiece that deserves a spot on every must-play list. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Alright, let's dive into The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. A game that's not just a masterpiece, it's a full-blown epic that sets the bar for open-world RPGs. If you haven't played this one yet, you're missing out on one of the most immersive and expansive experiences in modern gaming.
Done it! An iron fist he's got!
The Witcher 3 throws you into the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter with a knack for getting tangled in political intrigue and personal drama. The game's world is a sprawling, beautifully crafted landscape filled with rich lore, unforgettable characters, and stories that draw you in and never let go. From the moment you step into Geralt's shoes, you're treated to a narrative that's as deep and complex as the world it's set in. What's truly remarkable about The Witcher 3 is its world building. This isn't just a game with a big map, it's a living, breathing world that feels like it has existed long before you arrived and will continue to thrive after you leave. Every corner of this world is packed with stories, from the bustling cities and treacherous swamps to the hidden caves and ancient ruins. It's a place where every quest, no matter how small, feels significant and interconnected with the larger narrative. The main storyline of The Witcher 3 is a gripping tale of love, loss, and destiny as Geralt searches for his adopted daughter, Ciri, who's being hunted by a powerful and mysterious force known as the Wild Hunt. But what really sets this game apart is the way it lets you shape the story with your choices. The game's decisions are never black and white, they're morally complex, and often leave you pondering the consequences long after you've made them.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No. Really upset him too.
The characters you meet along the way are as rich and varied as the world itself. Whether it's the morally ambiguous sorceress Yennefer, the tough-as-nails warrior Ciri, or the charming bard Dandelion, each character feels like a living part of this world with their own stories and motivations. And let's not forget the game's attention to detail. The visuals are stunning, with a level of craftsmanship that makes every setting from the rolling fields of Velen to the icy peaks of Skellige feel real and alive. The soundtrack complements the game perfectly, with haunting melodies and epic themes that enhance the emotional weight of the story.
Just wanted to rest my eyes a bit.
Making her slog through that brick. No wonder she took
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a game that delivers on every front. It's a masterclass in storytelling, world building, and player choice. It's a game that doesn't just let you live another life, it lets you immerse yourself in a world that's as deep and complex as you want it to be. If you haven't experienced this masterpiece yet, make sure you do. It's an adventure you won't soon forget. Red Dead Redemption 2. Next up on our list is Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that's not just an open world masterpiece, but a genuine work of art. If you haven't played it yet, you're in for one of the most immersive and emotionally powerful experiences in gaming. Red Dead Redemption 2 is set in the waning days of the Wild West, and it does an extraordinary job of capturing the gritty, raw essence of that era. You step into the boots of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw struggling to survive as the world around him changes rapidly. It's a game that's as much about the end of an era as it is about the personal journey of its protagonist. What makes Red Dead Redemption 2 stand out is its sheer scale and attention to detail. The game's world is enormous and meticulously crafted, from the bustling towns and wild forests to the snowy mountains and murky swamps. Every corner of this world feels alive, with dynamic weather, realistic wildlife, and a day-night cycle that influences everything you do. It's the kind of world where you can get lost for hours, just soaking in the atmosphere and discovering new stories. The narrative in Red Dead Redemption 2 is where the game truly shines. Arthur Morgan's journey is one of redemption, survival, and loyalty, and the writing and voice acting bring his story to life in a way that few games can match. The interactions with other characters, whether it's your fellow gang members or the various NPCs you meet along the way, are filled with depth and nuance. Each character has their own story, and the way they interweave with Arthur's journey adds layers of complexity to the overall narrative. One of the most impressive aspects of Red Dead Redemption 2 is how it makes you feel a part of its world. The game's attention to detail is evident in everything from the realistic horse mechanics and intricate crafting systems to the way the characters react to your choices. There's a sense of immersion that pulls you into the life of an outlaw and makes you feel every triumph and setback along the way. And let's not forget the visuals and sound design. The game's graphics are stunning, with breathtaking landscapes and meticulously designed environments that make every moment feel cinematic. The soundtrack, with its haunting melodies and stirring compositions, enhances the emotional impact of the story and helps to create a truly memorable experience.
Get down here now, you inbred trash!
Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just a game, it's an experience that captures the essence of the Wild West with unparalleled depth and realism. It's a journey through a world that feels both grand and intimate, and it's a story that resonates long after the credits roll. If you haven't had the chance to dive into this masterpiece yet, make sure you carve out some time for it. This is one game that truly deserves a spot on your must-play list. Detroit Become Human. Up next, let's talk about Detroit Become Human, a game that takes a bold and thought-provoking dive into the future of artificial intelligence and what it means to be human. If you haven't experienced this one yet, you're in for a wild ride through a world where every choice matters. Detroit Become Human is set in a futuristic Detroit where androids have become part of everyday life. You play as 3 different androids, Kara, Marcus, and Connor, each with their own unique perspectives and storylines.
Especially not from a plastic asshole like you.
The game is all about choices and consequences, and the way it intertwines these 3 narratives is nothing short of impressive. What really sets Detroit Become Human apart is its focus on branching storylines. Every decision you make has a ripple effect, altering the course of the narrative in significant ways.
Piece by piece. They're going to destroy you.
The game's flowchart system helps you track how your choices impact the story, making each playthrough a unique experience. Whether you're leading a peaceful protest, making life or death decisions, or navigating complex relationships, the weight of your choices feels incredibly real.
Having existential doubts, Connor? Sure you're not going deviant too?
The game's visual presentation is top-notch, with lifelike character models and detailed environments that make the futuristic world of Detroit feel both captivating and believable. The facial animations in particular are impressive and really help bring the characters to life, making their struggles and triumphs feel all the more personal. Detroit Become Human is a game that challenges you to think deeply about the nature of consciousness and the consequences of your actions. It's a cinematic experience that's both engaging and emotionally charged, with a narrative that's shaped by every choice you make.
It's an exodus. Much of Detroit's population are trying.
If you're looking for a game that will make you question what it means to be human and how far you'd go for freedom, this one's definitely a must-play.
It's 100% guaranteed you people, man.
Cyberpunk 2077. Next on our list is Cyberpunk 2077, a game that, despite its tumultuous launch, has proven to be an expansive and immersive dive into a dystopian future that's hard to forget. If you haven't jumped into Night City yet, you're in for an adventure that's as sprawling as it is ambitious.
Tell me, quick version.
Our agent at Biotechnica suspects...
Set in the neon-lit, crime-ridden metropolis of Night City, Cyberpunk 2077 throws you into a world where technology and humanity collide in both fascinating and often grim ways. You play as V, a mercenary with a customizable background, looking to make a name for themselves in a city where everyone's trying to get ahead no matter the cost.
I mean, maybe it's not as big as that, but just that it's fronted by a little known...
What makes Cyberpunk 2077 stand out is its richly detailed world. Night City is a place where every district has its own character, from the bustling streets of Watson to the glitzy heights of City Center. The sheer scale of the city is impressive, and it's filled with vibrant characters, intriguing side quests, and a ton of lore that builds out this cyberpunk universe. Whether you're diving into the main story or getting lost in the myriad of side activities, the depth of the world is captivating. The narrative is driven by V's search for a legendary implant that could grant immortality, and the story weaves together themes of identity, technology, and the human condition in a way that's both engaging and thought-provoking. The choices you make throughout the game have significant impacts on the story and the world around you, offering multiple endings based on how you interact with the people and factions of Night City. While the game had a rocky start with numerous bugs and performance issues, CD Projekt Red has been steadily working to address these problems and improve the overall experience.
Steps of an orphanage once, and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her.
Despite the initial challenges, Cyberpunk 2077 has evolved into a game with a lot to offer, especially for those who enjoy deep narrative experiences and a rich open world. Cyberpunk is a game that pushes the boundaries of what a modern RPG can be, with a world that's both awe-inspiring and dystopian. It's a game that offers a deep dive into a future where technology and humanity are intertwined in complex and often dark ways. If you're up for an expansive adventure that explores the edges of human experience in a cyberpunk setting, this one's definitely worth your time. Metro Exodus. Our next game on the list is Metro Exodus, a gripping and atmospheric journey through a post-apocalyptic Russia that's as haunting as it is beautiful. If you're into immersive storytelling and atmospheric world building, this game should definitely be on your radar. Metro Exodus continues the story of Artyom, the protagonist from the previous Metro games, as he embarks on a daring journey across the Russian wilderness. After years of living in the underground tunnels of Moscow, Artyom and his fellow survivors set out on a quest for a new home, traveling through a war-torn, radioactive landscape that's both breathtaking and dangerous. What sets Metro Exodus apart is its shift from the claustrophobic tunnels of Moscow to a more open-world experience. The game offers a series of vast, diverse environments to explore, each with its own unique challenges and secrets. From snowy wastelands to sun-scorched deserts, the game's environments are rich in detail and atmosphere, making each area feel like a living, breathing world. The narrative in Metro Exodus is deeply engaging, blending personal stories with broader themes of survival and hope. As Artyom and his crew journey through the desolate Russian countryside, they encounter a range of characters and factions, each with their own motives and backgrounds.
Silent, Artyom, because it's dead.
The choices you make throughout the game impact the story and how the world evolves, adding layers of depth to the overall experience. The game's visuals are stunning, with highly detailed environments and realistic weather effects that enhance the sense of immersion. The attention to detail extends to the character models and animations, making the world of Metro Exodus feel vivid and alive. The atmospheric soundtrack and sound design further immerse you in the game, with eerie, haunting melodies and realistic environmental sounds that heighten the tension and emotional impact of the story. One of the standout features of Metro Exodus is its commitment to realism and survival. The game emphasizes the need to manage resources such as ammunition and supplies, which adds a layer of challenge and strategy to the gameplay. The dynamic weather and day-night cycle also play a crucial role, affecting how you approach different situations and navigate the world. Overall, Metro Exodus is a masterful blend of storytelling, atmosphere, and gameplay. It offers a deep, immersive experience that takes you on a journey through a beautifully desolate world filled with danger and wonder. If you're looking for a game that combines a rich narrative with a sprawling, open-world environment, Metro Exodus is definitely worth exploring. The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh, I don't think these guys were infected.
Little matter.
Let's dive into The Last of Us Part 1, a game that's not just a story but an experience that digs right into your soul. If you haven't played this gem yet, you're in for a journey that will make you laugh, cry, and question everything you thought you knew about humanity. Set in a post-apocalyptic world where a fungal infection has turned people into nightmarish creatures, this game puts you in the shoes of Joel and Ellie. Joel, a grizzled survivor with a tragic past, and Ellie, a young girl who might just hold the key to saving humanity, form an unlikely but deeply compelling duo. Their journey across a ravaged America isn't just about surviving the physical threats, but also the emotional and psychological toll of this new world.
Get to your vehicle. Stay in the shadows.
What makes The Last of Us Part 1 stand out isn't just its heart-stopping moments or intense gameplay, it's the raw, honest storytelling. The bond between Joel and Ellie is portrayed with such depth and authenticity that it feels like you're experiencing their struggle and growth firsthand. Their conversations, their conflicts, and their quiet moments of connection are crafted with such care that you'll find yourself truly invested in their story. The visuals are stunning, even more so if you're diving into the remastered version. The world is beautifully bleak with every crumbling building and overgrown path adding to the atmosphere of desolation. The character animations are incredibly lifelike, making every emotion and reaction feel real. It's like walking through a living, breathing painting that tells a story with every detail.
The batch of tourists.
Spots of gold, lucky bastards.
See if there's anything you can forage while we wait.
Gameplay-wise, The Last of Us Part 1 keeps you on edge. Whether you're sneaking through a desolate building, crafting makeshift weapons, or engaging in intense combat, the tension is always palpable. It's not just about action, but about making choices that impact your survival, and the game does a fantastic job of making each decision feel meaningful.
Okay.
Let's get a move on.
Playing The Last of Us Part 1 is like reading a really good book that you can't put down, but one that you also never really want to end. It's a profound exploration of human connection and resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. If you're into games that make you feel and think deeply, this one's definitely a must-play.
He's pissed, but he's not gonna do anything. You sure about that? Stop!
Joel?
You left us to die out there. No, you had a good chance of making it, and you did.
Uncharted 4. Alright, let's talk about Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, the game that not only wraps up Nathan Drake's epic saga, but also sets a gold standard for action-adventure games. If you've ever dreamed of being an adventurer, exploring hidden treasures, and dodging death at every turn, this game is basically your cinematic action movie come to life. In Uncharted 4, Nathan Drake is living a quieter life, retired from the treasure hunting game. But of course, peace doesn't last long when his long-lost brother Sam shows up, pulling him back into a globe-trotting adventure. This time, the stakes are higher than ever, involving lost pirate treasure, ancient mysteries, and more breathtaking set pieces than you can shake a stick at. What really makes Uncharted 4 shine is its ability to blend blockbuster action with intimate personal storytelling. The game doesn't just throw you into thrilling chases and explosive shootouts, it also takes time to develop its characters, especially Nate and his relationships. You get to see him grapple with his past, his relationships, and the cost of living a life of adventure. It's not just about finding treasure, it's about what's truly valuable in life. Visually, Uncharted 4 is a stunner. The environments are jaw-droppingly gorgeous, from lush tropical islands to crumbling ruins and snowy mountaintops. The level of detail is astounding, and the game's ability to transition between epic set pieces and quiet, contemplative moments is seamless. It's like being inside a high-octane action movie where you're not just watching, but actively participating.
Don't snap, don't snap!
Gameplays where Uncharted 4 really gets your adrenaline pumping, the climbing mechanics are smooth, the gunplay is tight, and the platforming feels as exhilarating as ever. But what sets this game apart is its fantastic variety of sequences. 1 minute you're scaling a cliffside, and the next you're engaging in a high-speed chase through a bustling city. The game keeps you on your toes with its mix of puzzles, combat, and exploration. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is more than just an action-adventure game. It's a heartfelt farewell to one of gaming's most beloved characters. It's a game that knows how to thrill you, make you laugh, and tug at your heartstrings.
Got it. Let's go.
If you've ever wanted to go on a grand adventure and experience a story that's both epic and personal, this one's a must-play. Tomb Raider 2013. Let's dive into Tomb Raider 2013, a game that rebooted the iconic series and gave Lara Croft a whole new level of depth and grit. If you're looking for a fresh take on a classic character and an adrenaline-pumping adventure, this is where it all began.
You can have the best form and technique in the world, but it won't mean a thing.
In this reboot, we meet a young Lara Croft just starting her journey as an adventurer. The game takes us to the treacherous island of Yamatai, where Lara and her expedition team are shipwrecked. What follows is a harrowing fight for survival against both hostile locals and a mysterious cult. Lara's transformation from a frightened academic into a hardened survivor is at the core of this intense narrative. One of the standout features of Tomb Raider 2013 is its ability to make you feel like you're right there with Lara. The game's environment is rich and immersive, from dense forests and ancient ruins to crumbling temples. Each location is meticulously crafted, making exploration feel both thrilling and dangerous. You'll find yourself scaling cliffs, solving intricate puzzles, and uncovering hidden secrets as you guide Lara through her perilous journey. Gameplay-wise, this Tomb Raider reboot combines action and survival elements in a way that's both exciting and challenging. The combat is visceral and engaging, with a range of weapons and skills at your disposal. The traversal and climbing mechanics are smooth and intuitive, making Lara's daring escapes and daring feats feel satisfying. The crafting system adds another layer of depth, allowing you to upgrade your gear and customize your approach to survival. The story is where Tomb Raider 2013 truly shines. Lara Croft is reintroduced with a more relatable and vulnerable persona. Her character development is compelling as you witness her struggle with fear and doubt, only to emerge stronger and more determined. The narrative is emotionally charged, and Lara's journey from an inexperienced explorer to a resilient hero is portrayed with both intensity and nuance. Visually, the game is impressive for its time, with detailed environments and realistic character models. The lush, vibrant settings contrast sharply with the harsh, brutal realities of survival, creating a compelling visual narrative that enhances the overall experience. Tomb Raider 2013 is more than just a reboot, it's a reinvention of a beloved franchise, giving Lara Croft a fresh start while staying true to the essence of her character. If you're up for an adventure that combines intense action with a deep, personal story, this game is a must-play. It's a thrilling ride that not only redefines Lara Croft, but also sets the stage for her future exploits. Spiderman 2018. Alright, let's talk about Spider-Man 2018, the game that gave us a chance to live out our superhero fantasies in a way that's both exhilarating and heartfelt. If you've ever dreamed of swinging through the streets of New York City, fighting bad guys and balancing a double life, this game is your ticket to that fantasy. From the moment you start swinging through the city, it's clear this game isn't just about web slinging and wall crawling, it's about becoming Spider-Man in every sense of the word. The story follows Peter Parker, who's been Spider-Man for a while now, dealing with the usual superhero stuff, saving the city, fighting villains, and trying to keep his personal life from falling apart. It's a great blend of high-flying action and deep, character-driven storytelling. The game's portrayal of New York City is just breathtaking. It's not just a backdrop, but a living, breathing part of the experience. The city feels alive with detail and vibrancy, and swinging between skyscrapers is one of the most exhilarating things you can do in a video game. And the fluidity and freedom you feel while web slinging are unmatched, and you'll find yourself getting lost in the thrill of just traversing the city. Combat in Spider-Man 2018 is a blast, mixing classic beat-em-up style action with some really cool acrobatics. You've got a range of gadgets and abilities that make each fight feel dynamic and fresh. The game encourages you to use Spider-Man's agility and creativity to take down enemies in style, and the result is a combat system that feels both satisfying and fun. What really makes this game stand out is its focus on character development. Peter Parker's dual life is portrayed with a lot of heart. You see him struggle with the responsibilities of being Spider-Man while trying to maintain his relationships and his day job. The interactions with characters like Mary Jane Watson, Aunt May, and his mentor Norman Osborn add layers to the story and make the world feel richer and more authentic. And let's not forget about the visuals. The game looks stunning with detailed character models and environments that really pop. The attention to detail in the city's design and the fluid animation during web swinging and combat make the whole experience immersive and enjoyable. Spider-Man 2018 is more than just a superhero game, it's a love letter to the character and his world. It captures the essence of what makes Spider-Man such a beloved hero, his bravery, his humor, and his humanity. If you're a fan of the web slinger or just looking for an awesome open world adventure, this game is definitely worth checking out. Swing by and see for yourself, you won't be disappointed. God of War 2018.
You are not ready.
What? Are you serious?
Let's dive into God of War, a game that's nothing short of a masterpiece. If you've ever wondered how to blend epic mythology with deep, personal storytelling, this game is your blueprint. This isn't just another entry in the series, it's a complete reinvention of Kratos' story. Set years after the original trilogy, Kratos is now living in the Norse realms with his young son Atreus. Gone are the days of rage-driven rampages in Greece. Instead, we're introduced to a Kratos who's trying to leave his past behind and be a father, but as you'd expect, trouble isn't far behind. From the moment you pick up the controller, you're thrust into a world that's as brutal as it is beautiful. The game's Norse setting is a rich tapestry of myth and lore, and it's stunningly brought to life. The environments are lush and varied, from towering mountains to eerie forests, and every detail feels meticulously crafted. The seamless transition from cinematic cutscenes to gameplay makes the world feel alive and immersive. Combat in God of War is a total overhaul from previous games. The iconic Blades of Chaos are replaced with a more grounded weapon, the Leviathan Axe. It's not just a new weapon, it's a whole new way of fighting. The combat is visceral and satisfying with a mix of strategic depth and raw power. The way Kratos swings his axe and interacts with the environment makes every fight feel dynamic and engaging. But what really sets this game apart is its focus on storytelling. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus is the heart of the game. Watching their bond grow as they face challenges together is both moving and compelling. Atreus isn't just a sidekick, he's integral to the story and the gameplay, and his interactions with Kratos add emotional weight to every encounter. Visually, the game is a showstopper. The attention to detail in the character models, the lighting, and the world design is incredible. The game's technical prowess complements its storytelling, making for an experience that's as stunning as it is engaging. God of War 2018 isn't just a reboot, it's a reimagining of a beloved character and his world. It manages to balance epic, mythological action with a deeply personal story of redemption and fatherhood. If you're looking for a game that combines breathtaking visuals, compelling combat, and a narrative that'll tug at your heartstrings, this is one you definitely shouldn't miss.